Shalom, family. It's Ron Dalton Jr., director, producer of the movie Hebrews Sneakers Wake Up Black America. You're watching Maccabeestv. Make sure you click the button to subscribe.
Maccabeestv, man, make sure you tune in. Salute this brother right here. You know, support him any way you can. Listen, when it comes to this, it's not all about money. So a lot of times you see me ask for donations. The biggest thing you can do to support this brother is like the video and share it. Just share it. If you like what I'm saying right here, go on your Facebook, go on your Twitter, and say, yo, check out what Doggy Dimes was saying. I like what he said at the 3-minute mark. I like what he said at such and such. I could apply that. Everything that I say, you might not agree with. It might not apply to your life. But if I said anything today, right now, in this footage, that you can agree with, because we're always looking to disagree. If I said something that you could agree with and you think could be helpful to you and yours, share this video. That's what it's all about. So I'm Doggy Diamonds. We on Maccabeestv. Make sure you subscribe, you know, and click the bell also. The bell is very important because the bell is what gives you the notifications that a new video is uploaded. So sometimes you subscribe and it might be 10 videos that went up and you're like, yo, I didn't know he put up 10 videos. You got to put on the notification. So that's what it is. Thank y'all for having me.
Real talk from Doggy Diamonds. We appreciate you, King. And we'll see you soon again, man. Peace.
Doggy Diamonds. Peace.
Alrighty then. Well, alrighty then. Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another edition of Maccabeestv. It is your brother, Priest Dan, representing Lions of Israel, Maccabeestv, and representing the nation of Israel in general, because I love all my brothers and sisters, even my haters. I love y'all too. You know what I'm talking about? Good afternoon, family. Just another impromptu video. Normally, I go live on the YouTube app, which is trash, by the way. But today I'm live from StreamYard. StreamYard does not have an app, which sucks. I might wind up switching over to Zoom just because of that. StreamYard does not have an app, but you can go live by going to their website and going live from their website. So I just said I would give this a shot and see how this works, because every time I use the YouTube app, y'all know how it goes. The video starts freezing and all that stuff. Y'all already know when I go live from the YouTube app or on my phone. So it's a decent afternoon, just driving home. And I said I would come before the family and see how y'all doing. First and foremost, man, as you brothers and sisters already know, you guys know the etiquette. If y'all in the building, I'm just asking y'all to interact with the video. You can give the video a thumbs up, or if you don't like me, you can give the video a thumbs down. Either way, it triggers the algorithm. It doesn't really matter. So you can thumb it up, and you can thumb it down. You can tell me to go to hell, go F myself, whatever you want to do. As long as you interact with the video, that's good enough for me. That triggers the algorithm so my real brothers and sisters could know that I'm live, because, of course, as you brothers and sisters know, Facebook, YouTube, the whole shebang is completely censored right now. You got to be very careful of the things that you talk about right now. People are getting their channels deleted for speaking truth concerning the whole process that took place with the election. Whole channels are being taken down by people just speaking simple truths. So you got to be very careful of what you say. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, a lot of channels are shadow banned. You know, Facebook will play with your, YouTube will play with your numbers. I do videos and the numbers will say one thing, and I'll go back 2 hours later and the numbers then drop like tremendously. I'm like, what the hell is going on? It doesn't matter though. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So y'all guys can just interact with the video. That'd be awesome. Shout out to everybody that's watching this on Facebook as well. You guys can also interact with the video. Y'all get the thumbs up as well. Can't do my normal roll call. It's the one thing about being on StreamYard, because they don't have an app and I'm driving. When I peek at the screen, I don't see anything. I can't see your comments, whatever like that. So shout out to everybody that's in the building. Shout out to the moderator. Shout out to Lions of Israel. Shout out to my brothers and my sisters, everybody that supports. I appreciate y'all. So y'all see the title of the video. I'm going to get to that in just a second. And really, I'm just having fun, family. So I already know some of y'all are going to come on the comment boards later and say, oh, brother, why are you feeding into that? Why are you talking about that? Because it's fun sometimes. I got to have some fun sometimes, don't I? It's okay for me to have some fun sometimes, and for me to talk some SHIT sometimes. And quite frankly, y'all like when we talk SHIT too. Don't act like you don't. Because when I put up a video about a week ago about some home remedies for like toothaches and health and stuff like that, y'all wasn't interested. But now that I'm about to talk I'm about to talk my SHIT, y'all like that, right? It's all good. I get to have a little fun sometimes. It's all good. Yeah, but before we talk about that, family, so what do you guys think about this whole new Biden administration that's in office, man? First of all, let me say this before I even get to the whole Biden administration and what he did on day one, the executive orders he signed on day one. Them joints was crazy. Them joints was crazy. But before we get to that, let me just say, the people that follow that whole QAnon movement, for those of y'all that don't know what QAnon is, I always try to tell you guys, these guys practically worship Donald Trump and say Donald Trump is the second coming of Jesus Christ. And I'm not being facetious and I'm not playing. They literally believe that Donald Trump and his administration, along with the military, is the second coming of Christ, along with something they call the Galactic Federation and all types of crazy stuff. It sounds crazy, but they're dead serious. So QAnon, Anon stands for Anonymous. I remember that group Anonymous from years ago. It's them and another group by the name of Q, and they just pretty much merged, and they have this whole thing where Trump is the second coming, right? Now, I don't want you guys for a second to believe that just because Joe Biden was sworn in that they've stopped saying what they're saying. They are still talking spicy, because I still be on their comment boards. I still be going and watching their videos. I was sharing the videos with a brother yesterday. We was laughing. Yo, these guys are still talking spicy, that Trump is going to be back, all types of stuff. We ain't really going to get into that, but they're talking spicy. And I do see some of you Israelites are still saying that stuff too. So it's interesting. I'll just say it's real interesting to see. So y'all saw those executive orders that your man Jim Crow Joe, aka Sleepy Joe, he was signing yesterday. One of the main ones that hit me that's going to affect a lot of, listen, they're all going to affect us in one way or another. But one of the main things that's going to affect a lot of people is that he signed something where gasoline is going to go up. The prices of gasoline is going to go up. So, of course, my coworkers that don't drive, they were like, oh, man, are you about to get killed with gas prices, so forth and so on, especially since I drive an hour and a half back and forth to work every day. So they made it out like it was just going to be me that was going to get hit upside the head with those gas prices. So I had to sit them down gently and explain to them that when gas prices go up, everybody's affected. It doesn't matter whether you drive or not. Because, see, brothers and sisters, the trucks that bring your food, those 18-wheelers that bring your food to Walmart and all these big supermarkets, you know what they run on? They run on gasoline. So if the gas prices are going up for regular fuel, the gas price is also going to go up for diesel fuel, which means now the companies that ship you your food are going to have to raise their prices that they charge the supermarket, because gas prices don't went up. It's more expensive to deliver the food, and the supermarkets will pass on the cost increase to you. So those of us that drive, that's a double whammy. You're going to pay more for gas, and you're going to pay more for food. Oh, but you think, okay, well, that's still 2 for you and 1 for me, right? Well, if you take public transportation, if you take the bus or whatever like that, gas is going to be more expensive for those too. I know for a fact every year or every other year in New York City, the damn Metro cards that they use, whatever they use to going to subways at the Metro cards, those things go up every year, whether there's increase in gas prices or not. And the prices do not go back down. Even the gas prices went down during the whole so-called pandemic. The gas prices went down, but those Metro card prices that to ride the bus and all stuff like that, the subway, the Metro card to ride the subways and all stuff like that, that stuff stayed high. So the cost will be passed on to you, brothers and sisters. I mean, depending on what it is that you eat, it might be incremental, but the cost is going to be passed on to you. And let's be real, the price of the cost of living goes up every year, but wages don't. Unless you are in a union which right now there's not a lot of unions out there anymore. Most of us don't have unionized jobs. So unless you're in a union or you are in some type of contract where you have negotiated that you get a raise every year, right? You're gonna feel the effect of that executive order as well, right? And of course, there was the thing with so-called gender discrimination or whatever like that, and we know that they say that there's more than two genders now. So we're just living in a really, really crazy world. And that was just on day one. What did he sign? Like 17 executive orders? I don't remember, family. Y'all can put it in the chat. No, I can't see it, but y'all can put it in the chat and tell each other. But I believe he signed like 17 executive orders yesterday. We see that he's going hard with the jab. He's going hard with the jab, right? They immediately rejoined the World Health Organization, right? Because we know that Orange 45, when he was president, he stopped funding for the World Health Organization, right? The U.S. He stopped U.S. paying funds to the World Health Organization. Well, Sleepy Joe renewed that the first day because we know the World Health Organization loves black people, don't they? They have our best interest at heart, don't they? Right? It's a crazy world we live in, family. Let me tell you something, man. Let me say this, and I'm going to move on. The medical industry does not have our best interest at heart, family, because if they did, then there would not be a reason to write a book called Medical Apartheid about all the messed up stuff that they did to us medically in this in the society. If this society and the medical industry loved us, and that's why they're giving us vaccines, they would not. And by the way, Sleepy Joe also, if I'm not mistaken, restored funding for abortion as well. Or should I say Planned Parenthood? Something along those lines. If they loved us so much and they wanted us to labor and work like we were in Egypt, they loved us so much, they wouldn't be pushing to kill our children. Because that would just be more slaves for them, right? Would it not? So that logic is very flawed. They don't love us. They're not giving us the vaccine because they love us. That is very flawed and twisted logic. I'm sorry, but it is. Straight up and down. So it should be an interesting 4 years. I pray to God that they don't have 4 years. But it should be interesting, brothers and sisters, man. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of other things that I see in here going on in some of these rooms that I'm not going to say because I'm sitting back. I don't know what the hell's going to happen. I'm sitting back and watching, but what I do know is this, right? Everybody's worried about what the Israelites are doing. You notice the SPLC, this one and that one is worried about what we're doing. And I'm watching these white boys openly in their comment section talk all types of stuff. And I just have to ask myself, I wonder how come I don't see them talking. And these are so-called white people that are part of the KKK. They're Christians and all that stuff like that. I don't see Mark Reiser talking about them. I don't see him talking about them. But they're talking about us. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting, family. Okay, dude behind me is lost his ever-loving mind. And that's why you got all them damn dents in your car. Because you're crazy. Y'all ever driving? I'm talking to my drivers. Sidebar. Y'all ever been driving and you see a car that's filled up with dents? The fender is all messed up, or the front of the rear fender is all messed up. There's all types of dents in the car, and the person is driving crazy. Y'all ever said to yourself, now I know why you got all them dents in the car, because you crazy as hell and you still doing it. There's a lot of crazy people on the roads, man. You know? Anyway, family, I can't see the likes, but I know y'all be doing me dirty. I can't see them. Y'all lucky I can't see them. But I know y'all be doing me dirty. So if you in the building, man, let's get them likes up or get the dislikes up. Do something. Let's continue to interact with the video. All right, so now let me go ahead and get to talking my stuff. Because that's really why y'all here. That's really why you guys are here. Meek, I don't know if you're in the building, but you can tell your boy I'm about to talk about him. You go ahead and go get your boy, tell him I'm about to talk about him. I'm about to talk about him. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. What the heck is that? Oh, it's my mirror. It's in the way. What can I do with that? Huh? There we go. My bad. Sorry about that, y'all. The angle ain't got to be perfect. It's all good. I'm driving. Y'all know I'm driving, so it's all good, right? Let's see something. Yeah, boom. There we go. That's a little better. All right. So Let me talk my talk for a second, family. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully everything sounds good. So 2 days ago, my good brother Sarnetta, shout out to Sarnetta, my good brother, threw up an old video of myself. It's an old video. Some of y'all over there probably already saw it. I know some of y'all were in the live going back and forth with everybody over there. He took one of my old videos that I did with him, gotta be about 6 to 7 years ago. It's the video where I'm addressing Shaka Amos, right? And so he reposted it. As he should, because it was an ass whipping. Let's just call it what it was. It was an ass whipping, right? So he reposted it, right? Now, I have an individual. So I went on the comment board and I pretty much said, if y'all think that was something, that same presentation I gave 7 years ago, I've added on to it. It's way worse now. It'll be way worse for them now than it was then. So an individual comes and comments underneath me in all caps, like, I don't know that was you, Shaka. I know that was you because the person that was commenting talks just like you. So I know that was you. Now, you know, me and you was cool, so I ain't gonna talk no disrespect, bro. But I know that was you, bro. Why didn't you just come in under your name? Let's be men. If I come under a video where you're talking and saying something about me, you either gonna see Maccabeestv or you're gonna see Priest Danyaahla Uncut. That's what you're gonna see. I'm not here to play no games, right? You come under my comments under a pseudo name, but you talk just like how you talk. Your thing is in all caps, so obviously you was in your emotions as you should be, because that PowerPoint was an ass whipping. Your information was trash. Let's just keep it a buck. Ain't no disrespect. See, y'all like when I talk like this, right? Your information was trash. You know what I'm saying? That ain't nothing personal to you. Like, I don't never talk about you personally. Everybody calls you, you know, gay and this, that, and the third. I've never done that. I have never done that. I'm just talking about your information. Your information is garbage, right? Your methodology is garbage too. But every time we see each other, it's love and respect. It will be the same if I see you tomorrow. But you came under me talking to me, and I had to laugh because I'm like, bro, I know that's you. I ain't say it, but brother, I know that was you. I know that was you. You was in your feelings 7 years later. Hey, bro, you got to stop using Wikipedia as your primary methodology for bringing scholarship. I'm not saying you cannot use Wikipedia, but what I'm saying is you must go beyond Wikipedia. Wikipedia should be a starting point for scholarship, not the end. I'm teaching you something, bro. I'm teaching you something. I done told you guys, when you are dealing with Wikipedia, Wikipedia deals with confirmation bias. I have personally debunked a Wikipedia article before, and I'm going to do that presentation on Maccabeestv again because I think some of y'all forgot. Whoever writes the Wikipedia article will only use the sources that support their arguments. That's all they'll use. So you have to be aware that there are probably other sources that would refute the Wikipedia article, as I was aware in that particular situation. And what I did was I went to primaries while you was using Wikipedia, which is cool. That's cool. Next time, just do better, brother. That's all. Just do better next time. See, y'all filing in now. Y'all like when I talk shit. Okay, cool. Garfield, let me talk to you for a second now. So after Sarnetta put the video up, right? Now, I haven't said nothing to you in months, right? I kind of left you alone, and I'm still going to leave you alone. But I have to talk to you for a second, brother. I have to have a grown-up conversation with you, brother, Garfield. So hear me out and hear me good. Nick, I hope you told him I'm talking about him. Because now he's going to talk about me for the next month, but I'm with it. I'm with it. That's just going to send more people to my channel, so I'm with it. Listen, let me talk to you, buddy. Sarnetta put the video up, and then you call yourself the next day doing a video, call yourself responding to what it is that I was presenting in that very old video. Let me help you out, brother. A wise man once told me, listening is an art. That's what I was told. I was told listening is an art. You should hear the matter and understand the matter before you turn your camera on and say something stupid. And that's what you did. Let me explain to you how. I presented a slide, so we're still going in circles about this whole King James thing 8 years later. I keep trying to escape the conversation because I done said what I had to say about it. But you guys keep trying to pull me back in. Cool, no problem. So I got to school you again. First of all, I am all of your master teacher on the subject. I'm talking about you, everybody on Soneta's platform. I'm your master teacher on that subject. None of you guys knew about none of those sources I pulled until I pulled them. None of you. None of you. And Garfield, I got you on record saying that. I got you, or I got the video clip still. I got you on record saying that you learned all that from me. So you can't say you didn't say that. I got the video clip. Okay. But you didn't stay in class long enough because you keep fucking up. I presented a book. In the book, it clearly tells you that the accusations of homosexuality, and let me stop for a second. Let me be real, right? We have to expand this conversation beyond just King James. We have to expand it. First of all, I don't defend the man because I think the man was a good person. I know the history of the man from top to bottom. He was flawed like everybody else was flawed. That's a fact. Number two, I always tell people, yes, I use the KJV as my go-to translation in English. However, there are other Bibles and other translations that render certain verses better than the KJV. I'm on record having said that. So when I make my defense of the man, you can't pin the tail on me and say, oh, you just defended him because you defend the translation. No, yes, I use the translation, but I also understand that there are some translations that render certain verses better. And as a matter of fact, if you know anything about the translation at all, you would know the KJV utilizes a lot of William Tyndale's translation, especially in the New Testament. It's heavily reliant on a lot of translations before it. But that's another lesson. I'm not here to talk about that right now. And look, I'm winging it. I ain't got no books open. I'm driving. That's what I mean when I say I'm your master teacher on all this. None of you guys knew about none of this stuff till I started talking about it on Soneta's platform. Period. Now, I mentioned in my presentation that the accusation of homosexuality really didn't start until Charles I was executed by Oliver Cromwell. Charles I was the son of King James. He was executed by Oliver Cromwell. He was beheaded by Oliver Cromwell. I believe he was beheaded, but he was executed by Oliver Cromwell. And Oliver Cromwell became Lord Protector of England until the Stuarts got back power later on. But that's another lesson. And see, I can wing it because I know this history. You don't. You're going to have to go Google it right now. You don't know this stuff, bro. Anyway, I mentioned that the homosexual allegations started after Charles I was beheaded. Nobody had the gall, I'm talking about in England. Nobody had the gall to say something like that while Charles I was alive about his father. Nobody would say that. Nobody would openly say that. Do you know what you did, Garfield? Do you know what you did? To show you what type of scholar you are, do you know what you did? You went and pulled a source from France. What kind of sloppy methodology is that? We're not talking about France, brother. The French and the English and the British had beef. So you cannot use what they were saying about the British monarchy as a source in the conversation we're having, brother. We're talking about England. Where are the primary sources speaking about this homosexuality in England prior to 1625? Primaries. Where are they? You don't have them. You don't have them. And then I'm reading the source that you're using, and the author is using conjecture. He is inserting opinion, not fact, opinion, gossip, brother. Gossip, opinion, conjecture is not a source, brother. That's why I'm on record having said, I don't want to have a conversation with you. I know I have promised several times, but as I sit back and look at the way that you present information, I really begin to understand you the more I looked at what you present. And the reason why I refuse to sit with you is because I want your book on record, brother. Because you have a habit of making errors, and then when people call you on your errors, you go in and you run and you try to change and act like you didn't make that error because you're dealing with a lot of pride. I'm not dealing with that. If you are so wise and smart and you know all this information, put the book out. Book up or shut up. I don't give a damn how many videos you make about me. I don't give a damn how many old presentations you try to talk down on. Book up or shut up. You put your book out and give everybody an opportunity. Everybody that you spoke down on, give us all an opportunity to peer review your book, to look at the sources you're using, and to look at the methodology that you're using. And I guarantee you that we're going to find all types of errors all throughout your book. I guarantee it. You call things primaries that are not primaries. I saw you the other day. I was lurking in the cut, right? Saw you the other day, right? You pull out the Treaty of Esherodon, right? You pull out the Treaty of Esherodon and you're comparing it to Deuteronomy 13 and Deuteronomy 28. That's what you're doing. And you said that that was a primary. Brother, let me educate you again. How in the blue blazes can you be reading an English translation and to be a primary? That stuff wasn't written in English. So how in the hell is it a primary? That is a translation that some white boy did somewhere and put in his book or on his website that you're taking and using in your book. So therefore, it's not a primary source, buddy. That's somebody else's scholarship. That's somebody else's scholarship, not yours, my friend. I'm just keeping it tall, my friend. Hey, man, I'm just keeping it tall. So based on, I don't know, I think I heard somebody come in, but I don't know how to, oh, I got a guest up in here. Let me see, who up in here? Oh, Jeremiah. Come on in, Jeremiah. Come on in, Jeremiah. Let's go. Come on in, bro. Now I'm talking about, come on in, bro. Listen. Jeremiah, I'm gonna let you talk in a second. Listen. So based on what I saw that you did, trying to use something somebody said in France about somebody in England, that shows me that you have poor methodology skills when it comes to putting together presentations. That's why I know for a fact that your book is going to have a lot of problems. That's why I'm saying nobody should really sit with you till your book come out. When your book come out, then we're going to deal with you. Then we're going to deal, yeah, James, I'll see you in the book. It's ridiculous, bro. And then on top of that, let me say one more thing. I'm gonna let you come in and speak, Jeremiah. Let me say one more thing, because we ain't got to go in circles. I'm talking to you, Garfield, and I'm talking to you, Shaka. I'm talking to both of y'all and anybody else that says this dumb shit. Let me just end this conversation once and for all. When we speak about whether or not King James was a homosexual, there is one source that trumps all the other sources. There is one source in existence that is above head and shoulders every other source. I'm going to explain to you what I'm talking about, and I'm going to let you come in, Jeremiah. Listen carefully, guys. Listen carefully, young men, because I'm your master teacher on the subject. Listen carefully. If somebody was to write a book about me and say, you know, I met Priest Danyaahla at one of these Israelite summits, and there were some brothers brothers and sisters that were 5 feet or shorter. They were like midgets. And I saw Danyaahla over there talking to those midgets for like an hour. They were having a great conversation, laughing for an hour. These are midgets. And then after he talked to the midgets, I saw him going around and talking to everybody else, but he didn't talk to them for an hour. He talked to them for 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, but he spent the whole hour with the midgets. So that must mean that Danyaahla likes midgets. That's what it must mean. You know what that's called? That's called conjecture. That's called opinion. That is not a source. I'm going to come behind you and I'm going to tell you about myself. I'm going to tell you no. The reason why I was over there talking to those midgets is because I know those people. We go back 20 years. I know them. I know their family. I know their mother. I know their father. I have a relationship with the family. We have a lot in common. We have a lot of history between us. That's why I spent more time over there than anywhere else. So I don't care what you think you saw. I'm telling you about me and what it is. The number one source, it's the only source you really need. If you want to know whether or not King James is a homosexual, is the Basilicon Doron. It is grand opening and grand closing. It is the number one source that trumps every other source. Why? Because it is a primary, because it was written in English, and it is still in English. And number two, it is the man speaking about himself. It doesn't matter what other people are saying. The man is speaking about himself, and he speaks against homosexuality and effeminate men 3 times in that book. And I noticed you didn't pull it up in your presentation, Garfield, and Shaka didn't either. That is the number one source on the subject. Everything else is a tier below that. Everything else. So that is grand opening and grand closing. I'm not having this conversation with you guys no more. I don't give a shit what you guys think no more. You guys are not experts on the subject. You guys are pulling books where the author is like, I believe, which is conjecture, in my opinion, which is conjecture, the probability, which is conjecture. That is not scholarship. And I know that's what's going to happen when you put your book out. That's why I'm waiting. I'm salivating. I'm waiting. Hey, Jeremiah, you can go to unmute yourself, bro.
Yo.
Yes, sir. Go for it.
Yo. I've been now with how about Shima Mashiach was shy, man. What's going on, brother?
You already know, man. I'm here talking my shit. Israel like this stuff. You know I'm over here talking my shit. I mean, I was minding my business and I saw this dude pull up an old lecture yesterday and come with the same trash he came before, pulling some goddamn source from France when we talking about England. That was horrible methodology. Horrible. Go ahead.
Right. And you know, we've been on this dude's helmet, man. And let me make this clear, man, as far as the source is concerned. If you are listening and watching what's going on and you have any sympathy for Garfield, you don't know Garfield. Okay? Because this guy has been antagonizing the Hebrew Israelite community for the last 5 years. Okay?
Wait, you're mine. Remember, real quick. He been so I don't even want to give him credit for that. He been talking his stuff, but he ain't book up. We say book up or shut up. Go ahead, bro.
Right. Yeah, we waiting on that book, man. You know what I'm saying? I got brothers like you said, man, waiting to stump a mud hole in that book, man. You understand? Listen, we did a review last night on the Source Debate League YouTube channel, and we reviewed his discussion with Dr. Reggie. Now, Dr. Reggie is not a Hebrew Israelite. He's not a professing Hebrew Israelite, right? But the man has demonstrated at least honest scholarship. And this is what we want from the community. We want you guys to be honest concerning the sources and the validity of those sources, right? What we're trying to do is, as collectively as a people, is take an honest look at history without bias. But on their end, we can't seem to get these brothers to do that. Now we got a champion over at the Source Debate League by the name of the Scholastic Bully, Joshua, and he's been calling this guy out, I'll say, for the last year and a half. You understand? And we're waiting on this guy to get in the ring. Brother, we want to talk about some money. You want to bet $500? You want to bet $1,000? You want to bet $2,000? It don't make no bit of difference to us, and I'm going to make sure that happens. I got my money on Joshua, man. Understand this, man. And we laid the challenge out. We give you enough. We give you a equal platform. You understand? We're gonna give you a non-biased platform. It don't have to be on our platform. Damn sure ain't gonna be on yours, because the last time Joshua went over there, he laid the smackdown on your candy ass in front of the world. We reviewed that video as well. So all we're saying, family, is this guy is calling himself the Hebrew killer. Hebrew killer. And
who did he kill, though? Who did he kill?
Exactly.
He doesn't understand that we're all lying in wait for his book to come out, because we already know is going to be flawed. We all already know this. So he's making videos every day, and we're just waiting for the book to come out. That's it. That's it. He using some excuse about, oh, he want to sell 5,000 the first day, some lame ass excuse. As many videos as he's made about the Israelite community, if you haven't drummed up enough interest to sell 5,000 copies of your books, as much as you talk about us every single day, that should be right. The go-to book that everybody in the conscious community wants to get, because they want to come and they want to battle the Israelites, right? So if your book is going to be the go-to book, why are you denying it to the people? Word of mouth will come out, your book will come out, everybody will be like, yo, that book is so fire, you got to get it, you got to get it. You know what I'm saying? And you can sell 5,000 copies if it's as good as you say. But if it's not as good as you say, you know you ain't going to sell no 5,000 copies, because the minute it comes out, here come the Israelites. We're going to go through that thing like with a fine-tooth comb and pull out all the errors. And he knows it. And he knows it. But go ahead, bro. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no sweat, man. And Dr. Reggie quantified that. He showed that this brother is flawed in his methodology, right? And his study of the source. He's flawed when it comes to that, man. And he has an agenda. You understand? This guy claimed, he made a claim. Here's his claim. He said that in West Africa, there has not been any new insertion of new DNA in over 10,000 years. And on that same show, his brother Ngozi came on and said, hey, E1B1A is a mutation. Now, how do you get a mutation, family? Without new insertion of DNA. That's the only way you're going to get a mutation. So these things gives evidence to a migration pattern. It's evidence of new DNA, new genetic information being inserted into the population, which causes that mutation. Now it's E1B1A. And so these things, we're looking at these things. We're evaluating these things. You understand? You come across certain Israelites, they don't deal with DNA, that's fine. But we have Israelites on our end that deal with DNA. And actually look at the information. And I'm learning. You understand? I'm learning to utilize this as a source. It's a major source. You understand?
So and you know what's so funny? If I could just say something real quick, and we got to let James in too, because I see he's in the building. Let me say this too real quick. Ron Dalton challenged him to a debate on DNA as well. And he backed out of that. That's what I don't be understanding with this brother. That's why we tell everybody, like, yo, let him make 365 videos about the Israelites all year. Let him do it. Just let's wait for the book to come out, bro. Because all it is, it becomes circular reasoning. We're going in circles with this dude, man. When it's time to put up, there's no put up. There's no put up. He done talked so much stuff and backed himself into a corner, and everybody's waiting, man. Everybody's waiting.
I don't think it's coming out.
James, go ahead, brother.
I don't think it's coming out because you know for sure on your platform I put out 5 hours worth of sources about our ancestors coming to West Africa, and his only rebuttal to it was, "Oh, he getting this from a cracker." That was his only rebuttal.
Wait. Sorry. Wait. He said what?
Oh, he getting this from a cracker.
Wait a minute. I was looking at the video he did yesterday, bro. This dude is talking about bringing Richard Hess and all these other clowns. What race are they? He's bringing them on the show. What race are they?
Last time I checked them white men. It seems he picks and chooses which ones he want to use, which shows he's biased. It shows and proves he's just biased in his whole approach. Like y'all was saying,
can y'all hear me?
Flawed. What was that?
Yeah, we can hear you, Priest Danyaahla. We can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, man. My Bluetooth went out, so I don't know. My Bluetooth went out. It's all good. But listen, man, I'm gonna mute myself. Y'all can get in talk for a while, but the man, what? Can y'all find that video clip, bro? Because we got to spank up with that. Because now that's the word. Listen, Garfield. I know you're gonna see this, but somebody gonna tell you that was the worst thing you could have said. They should have never told me you said that. Because now not only are we gonna judge you based on your sources and methodology, we're gonna judge you based on the race of your sources too. Because if James Cassell cannot use white sources, neither can you, and that means you can be finished. You talk about bringing Richard Hatch, Dart Ehrman, this one, that one, and the third one on your shoulders, all white boys. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? You done killed yourself with that. Anyway, let me shut up. Go ahead, John. Y'all can talk.
Because 5 hours worth of sources backed him into a corner. That was the only thing he could say to get around that. I mean, I don't even see what his objection is. It's not like we saying everybody in West Africa is Israelites. We saying that Israelites migrated there, and plenty of West African cultures have oral traditions of people coming there and migrating from other places. Like the one I gave with Oduadua. They said it was 13 indigenous tribes there already when he came and started having wars with them. And then they finally decided to all come together and create an empire and make him they chief. So I mean, it's in the West African traditions. You can look at Islamic historians. They talk about Jews being there in West Africa. You have Nahum Sloops. You have tons of scholars. Well, I won't say tons. You have scholars who are looking into West African history, because we got to understand, Europe wasn't even concerned with West Africa or West African history. They could care less. They just recently, in these last about decade or so, took any interest in West Africa, whether we talking history, DNA, or anything like that. So they're just starting to really put this and piece this together. And what Garfield is doing is he's trying to find any way out of looking at the sources and then having an scholarly rebuttal to the sources. You see what I'm saying? Because there's many different ways you can approach it to say you have a problem with it. But he's taking none of them. He's just arguing against Israel because I think deep inside he's enamored with the Bible. He loves the Bible. And he don't like the thought of us being Israelites, because as we saw, if y'all took a look over on the source, when we were showing a review of him going through and showing his DNA, 75% of his relatives are related to Ashkenazi Jews. So he ain't trying to let his family down. Am I lying?
Hold up, James. You got to say that again, brother. God damn. You got to say that again, brother.
It said on his own DNA study that he put up on the screen that 76% of his family are related to Ashkenazi Jews.
Damn.
So that's why he holds hard to that haplogroup J, like he is.
Right. Which is another mutation. You see, this is damn. 76% Ashkenazi, man. Yo. Hey, man, look, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Last night we went over that debate with Reggie, man. This man went in the bathroom, brother. This man went into the bathroom, Priest Danyaahla, and called for help. Where do they do that at in scholarship, brother? When have you ever been in the middle of a debate, exit and call somebody for help, man? Where they do that at, James Cassell?
Hey, look, and when he got the help, what did source say? Oh, well, the Jews in Portugal were black. He was like, oh, well, I didn't mean to read that part. So come on, your own sources go against the stuff you've been saying forever, bro. When you try to cheat, that's because the Most High catches me up, man.
Hey, James, talk to the family about the discussion that he had with Anonymous Hebrew. Shout out to Anonymous Hebrew, right? Listen, man, we got brothers forming like Voltron, man, from different parts of the country, man. You understand, coming in and chiming in on this source. So he had a discussion with Anonymous Hebrew. Tell them, James, about he was making a point and his source he had put on the screen exposed him.
Well, I'm gonna say three things about that really exposed Garfield. Garfield tried to, number one, argue with this man up and down what his own haplogroup was, because he has a
Right.
haplogroup which is common amongst African Americans, but Garfield just didn't know. I think it was E180, I think it was. I may be wrong, but y'all can go back and look at it. It was when he was debating Anonymous Hebrew. But so he went and showed him, brought up his DNA and everything like that, and showed Garfield that he was the haplogroup he said he was, and that when they tracked the alleles on his DNA, it shows that he has been in all of these different regions where the Israelites had been. You know what I'm saying? So that was number one that killed him. The second thing he tried to do was come and try to argue with him about our ancestors having an E marker in West Africa since 10,000 BC, or
Right.
10,000 years or something like that. And then Ngozi comes in behind him and talks to him about a study which shows and proves that the E marker wasn't even in West Africa 7,000 years ago, that 7,000 BC or 7,000 years ago. So, I mean, that's something that we as a community have been trying to tell them for the longest, brother. Our ancestors
Now, James, what does that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean that a mutation happened, which was the evidence of a migration?
Well, the fact that E1B1A arose at all is evidence that a mutation happened, because you got to remember EP2 was in it was in the Near East, because we find it in the Natufians. So it was definitely in the Near East. That's the oldest we find it in. So in order for that mutation to take place, it had to be admixture with indigenous people. And from what we know, the first people that was in West Africa were the Pygmy peoples, the Khoisan peoples, people carrying haplotypes A and B,
Right.
haplogroup A and B. So those were the people that was there. So there had to be some type of admixture in order to bring that about, because even when you look at older markers like, CF or something like that, in those, they find Neanderthal DNA in those types of people. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking at some of them, you find other archaic human type DNA, quote unquote. And you know my stance on that.
Yeah.
But I think what it first and all, it proves that our ancestors wasn't there. So the question is, where were they then? If whether you think you're an indigenous African or you an Israelite, that evidence shows that Ngozi brought up that our ancestors wasn't in West Africa. So the question is,
right, original.
Yeah, they wasn't the originals there, and they wasn't even there 7,000 BC. Let's just use that as a marker. They wasn't even there then. So the question is, where were they? Now, you have other studies that go, and I'm going off the dome here right now, but you got other studies that show that there's been a connection between the peoples that are called sub-Saharan Africans and the Near East since, on their timeline, the secular timeline, 13,000 years ago.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So in ancient times, according to us, we call this probably after the flood. It shows and proves that our people was over there in that region. Our people, and what's so crazy to me about him being against this is he don't want our people to take responsibility for starting civilization, for starting farming, civilization, first monoliths ever built, because you can find E1B1 in Turkey, not too distant after Göbekli Tepe, which is some of the oldest monolith on the planet. So I mean, they don't want to take responsibility for bringing everything to culture to the world from the Near East like we did. I'm a person, I don't care about the landmass or the geographical location. What I care about is the people, my ancestors, and wherever they were and wherever they were doing great things, I want to know about it. You know what I'm saying? They kept us in the dark about our culture, about our history for so long. And then when we go and dig up our ancient history and it's outside of Africa, all these Afrocentrics have a problem with it. You know what I mean? Because they Egyptomaniacs, like I call them.
Right.
Because, oh, go ahead, I.
Yeah, no, I was just agreeing with you, man. Because listen, for those that are listening that understand the Bible, right? When you have to when you start taking into consideration the migration patterns of Abraham, did Abraham always stay in one location? No. Did Isaac? Did Isaac do any traveling and going into other locations? Of course he did. Did Jacob go from the land of Canaan into Africa? Of course. Then when you get past the Exodus and you look at the children of Israel post-exilic time, and you're looking at the children of Israel going into certain captivities, every captivity that the children of Israel went in, Israelites was left in those lands.
Fact.
This is a historical fact. So for you to run around here and talk about and try to identify Israelites based upon a phenotype, based upon appearance, based upon how they should look like this and they should look like that, you have not done the proper research and understanding the certain populations, man. You have to take these things in consideration. That's why it's the Most High job said he's going to separate the sheep from the goat. You understand? It's our job to bring forth this information. That's what we have to do, man. So for all you blackalites out there, right? And for all you naysayers when it comes to our people and their travels, we have DNA that we can track, and we can take a look at different locations and different areas in which our people migrated to, man, and are still there today. And we can look at this. We're not saying there's a Israelite gene that we can look at. What we're saying is that there's evidence of migration, and that is important. Why? Because they tell you and I, according to Garfield, Israelites never came into West Africa. Right? What's your thoughts, James?
Well, I would say this, I went on this show not too
And if
long
I could
ago.
say something real quick, Jeremiah, if I could say something real quick. If I could say something. So the thing is that we have to, the thing that we have to remember is this, right? Because nobody is lost. We're not saying that DNA is the only way to prove somebody is an Israelite. It's one way of several ways. You have to take everything into consideration. You got to take that into consideration. You got to take the language into consideration. You got to take the customs into consideration. You got to take the writings into consideration. You got to take everything into consideration. Verification rights, the whole list of that, the diet that they ate, so forth and so on. You take all these things into consideration in our diaspora, and that's how you identify our people. Because the Bible says, the Most High says, that we would discontinue from our heritage. You understand what I'm saying? So these are all the things that we take into consideration. And what happens is they only want to have a discussion based on one thing and one thing only, and they don't even understand that. And that's the problem. But y'all can go ahead.
Yeah, and to land back on what you're saying, they need to do more interdisciplinary studies. Looking at the multiple fields. That's like what I was saying earlier. I put 5 hours down on Maccabeestv because I wanted to bring it from an archaeological perspective, historical perspective. I wanted to hit you with oral traditions. I wanted to give any DNA I could find to back it up, because I want to come at it from as many avenues as possible to show that to better support what we putting forth, pretty much. And to go, and like Pre saying, yeah, we ain't hanging our hat on DNA here or nothing like that, because we understand that it's possible that in 5 years that they got a whole different way of doing it, and we find out it's wrong. But what we're doing is we're using it as evidence to support what we're saying. That's all. And to go to what Jeremiah was saying about us being in all these different regions, I think that Harvard Medical School study is also backs it up, because what they did is, because I don't think that all of these people claiming to be quote unquote Jews had no interaction with our ancestors. You see what I'm saying? I think that they did have interactions with our ancestors. They learned from our ancestors and took some of their ways. And we know that, a lot of our ancestors, they gonna get down with the local women. You know what I'm saying? So we left a lot of DNA back then. That's what the Harvard Medical School study, to me, really highlighted to me, that the least common denominator between all of these different diverse Jewish populations was DNA they find in Oyo State Yoruba people or us as African Americans. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that that's the least common denominator again shows that, hold up, we was in these regions. Okay, if that Harvard medical study saying that the best explanation they can come up with for the data they see is that the pre-exilic Israelites had sub-Saharan African, DNA, then Garfield can't just ignore that because he wants to. Or any of these other brothers, they can't just ignore what Harvard Medical School is saying because they don't like what we saying. The evidence is there that our ancestors, during the time when Israel was there, that our ancestors was there. The evidence is there that our people was there. So only thing they can try to argue now is that, oh, well, we don't descend from them people, because all the evidence is there that sub-Saharan African, quote unquote, as they call us, were a part of Israel. So they can't argue against that no more. Talk to me, Jeremiah. You don't want to leave no.
Hey, brothers, I'm having some issues with my Bluetooth. My Bluetooth disconnected. I don't know if y'all can hear me. My Bluetooth disconnected from my car, and for some reason I can't get it to connect back. So I'm not even hearing what you guys are talking about. So we'll talk behind the scenes. I want to definitely have you brothers on, because you're about to make like 100 videos, y'all. For the next 100 days, I never seen nothing like it, bro. As many debates as I've been a part of while watching the conscious community, brothers will go back and forth, but I've never seen somebody go back and forth every day. I've never seen nothing like it. Like, right. There aren't enough hours in a day. So y'all can look forward to making about 100 videos. But like I said, the title says book up or shut up. We don't care nothing about none of them PowerPoints you did. We don't care nothing about none of that stuff. Put the book out. Because once you put your book out, everything is in black and white. You can't run from nothing that you said. And you're going to have to explain your methodology if it's sloppy. That's what I'm saying. So with that being said, brothers, I'm going to go ahead and I'm about to end the live stream. I can't even hear y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'll reach out to y'all if y'all want to come back on. Y'all always welcome on the platform, man. If y'all want to do some, if y'all want to come on my platform as well and do a review of some of his work and some of his stuff, you're more than welcome to come on Maccabeestv and y'all can peer review his work right here. You see what I'm saying? Reggie, you can come on. You got beef? Garfield, you can come on too. I like you before. You can come on anytime you want. You can come by your box, let me know. Me and you can talk too. You know what I'm saying? Shaka, you too. Y'all can come on, because y'all be acting like somebody's scared or running from y'all. None of you guys are really scholars. Hope y'all know that. None of you guys are scholars. None of you guys have PhDs behind your name. None of you guys are dealing with or hands-on with no primaries. So let's be real, man. Let's be real. You guys research like everybody else researches, and some of your research is flawed and a lot of it is biased. It is what it is. This your brother, Priest Danyaahla, representing Lions of Israel, Maccabeestv. I love you all. Thank y'all for listening. I'm almost home. Y'all done roll with me home. I apologize for the rinky dink. You know what I'm saying? It was a little janky because I'm driving, but it's all good. Much love. If you didn't hit the like button, man, shame on you. Repent and believe the gospel. I'm out of here.
Shalom. Peace.
Shalom.
Peace, peace, peace. Brother Patrick, what's good?
I saw your video, man. It's all about the American vibe, but you gotta put some Caribbean vibe in the video right now, man. Bless. Boom.
You got it. Coming up, Caribbean style. You know how we do. Peace out.
Yo, you know how we do, Yashala. Shouting out to all Israel. Bringing this truth in. Here come Priest Danyaahla. Here to drop this word.
We got them scared when we coming through. So if you feel how I feel, then what the hell you gonna do? Hey, 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 we got them scared when we coming through. So if you feel how I feel, then what the hell you gonna do? Hey, 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 hey. message, armed with the words of Yahweh and his holy prophets. As I chant down Babylon, load up my magazine, burn down this wicked place, you'll pass me some gasoline. And where my real soldiers at? The time is now, there's nothing that can hold us back. Maccabees Alliance, we do what real leaders do. Burn Christianity and that white Jesus true. Can't wait, I represent the risen Savior, while the devil gets rich off of prison labor. Burn them up, burn them up. Don't call it sudden death of the house of Esau, there won't be nothing left. We got them scared when we coming through. So if you feel how I feel, then what the hell you gonna do? Hey, we got them scared when we coming through. So if you feel how I feel, then what the hell you gonna do? Cast down thrones, the vision was awful, and the ancient of days with hair like pure wool, clothed in white linen. So I walked towards the light, and I saw Yahweh Shah, who was seated by his right hand. The prophet Daniel described it so vivid that the kingdom is ours and God is gonna give it back. Chant down wickedness and everything your dollar buys. Cry aloud, spare not, and no, I don't apologize. I pray for the dying youth. I'm War Machine, but I ain't got an iron suit. Hunting down traitors cause I ain't got a soft spot. So where's the politicians at? And where's Pastor Pork Chop? Yeah. The Christian church lies to me. Homeland Security, they violate my privacy. CIA, FBI, they ain't got nothing on me. Biblical prophecy, so here comes the Russian army. We got them scared when we coming through. So if you feel how I feel, then what the hell you gonna do? Hey, Babylon. We got them scared when we coming through. So if you feel how I feel, then what the hell you gonna do? Hey, Babylon.
So now you know Esau's finished. This world is going down. Priest Danyaahla already dropped it on you. So we say it's true. Kwam Yashala.